welcome to this daily hypnosis session for mindful listening. Before we begin, please ensure you're in a safe, comfortable place where you can fully relax. Please do not listen to this session while driving or operating any machinery. And now on to the hypnosis. As you sit there now, noticing how your body feels, it's interesting how the mind has a way of finding calm. It's almost like the gentle breeze that carries the sound of the wind through the trees without you even needing to focus. And while you hear my words, you can let your attention just drift, can't you? You may notice your breath as it moves in and out naturally, and with each breath you might begin to feel more at ease. It's curious how the simple act of breathing has a way of grounding you. And as your thoughts move like clouds across the sky, you can just allow them to pass by, allowing yourself to settle deeper into this moment. Because it's perfectly okay to let go now. And as you do, you can become more aware of how easily you relax. And as you continue to breathe, you may become aware of something subtle, like the rhythm of your heartbeat perhaps. It's always there, quietly guiding you, just like the way the earth turns without you needing to do a thing. The rhythm of that heartbeat, the steady beat of it, reminds you that no matter what, there's a natural flow to everything. Just like a river moving effortlessly towards its destination, you don't need to think about it. It just happens. And as you imagine that flow now, you might feel yourself becoming part of it, allowing that gentle rhythm to carry you deeper into a place where time seems to pause, where each moment stretches out. Here in this space, you can experience a deep sense of calm, knowing that every breath, every beat just helps you relax more and more. And as you settle deeper into this state, you might begin to notice how certain things can seem clearer when you're not actively searching for them. Much like when you're out walking, perhaps by a quiet lake, and at first everything looks still, peaceful. And if you pause for just a moment, you might notice the tiny ripples on the water gently lapping at the shore. You weren't looking for them, but they were always there, just waiting for you to notice. You see, listening, truly listening, is a lot like that. Sometimes when you stop trying so hard to hear, the most important sounds begin to stand out on their own. You can let that happen now, just like the way you can listen to a distant bird, not because you're trying to hear it, but because it simply reaches you. And you might remember a time when someone was talking and you heard something not in their words, but in the pauses between them. And it's funny, isn't it, how meaning can often be found in the spaces, the silences, where there's no need for words at all. And as you think about that, you might start to notice the spaces around you now, how quiet they can be, and how even in that quiet there's a richness, a fullness. Maybe it's the sound of the air or the hum of something in the distance, something you weren't paying attention to before. And now as you relax further, you can hear it more clearly. You might find it fascinating how easy it is to tune into things once you've let go of the need to control. Much like a musician tuning their instrument, you too can fine-tune your ability to listen effortlessly without even trying. Because as you know, the best listeners don't just hear, they understand. And understanding, well, that's something that flows naturally when you give it space, like those ripples on the lake. They spread outwards, touching everything in their path, without force, without effort. Now imagine for a moment that you're in a conversation with someone. You're sitting comfortably, just listening, really listening. You notice not just their words, but their tone, the way their voice rises and falls, the little inflections. And as you listen, you realize something interesting, something subtle, something you might not have noticed before. You begin to understand them on a deeper level. It's as if you're hearing not just what they're saying, but what they mean. Because after all, communication happens in layers. And the deepest understanding often comes when we stop trying to analyze and simply let ourselves absorb. And just as a flower doesn't force itself to grow, your mind doesn't need to force itself to listen deeply. It just happens. That's the beauty of mindful listening. You allow yourself to be present, and in that presence, meaning arises naturally. You begin to notice more without effort, simply by being there. Much like how, when you stand by the sea, you don't have to strain to hear the waves, they come to you. And in the same way, the deeper meaning, the emotions behind the words, they come to you too, without any struggle. It's as though you're tuned into a frequency, one that allows you to connect more fully, more deeply to everything around you. And with each conversation you have from now on, it will become easier and easier to hear the things that truly matter. Not just the words, but the spaces between them, the silences that speak volumes. Because when you listen mindfully, you hear more than just sounds. You hear the essence of what's being communicated. And now, as we prepare to come back from this session, you can begin to notice the room around you once more. And just like when you awaken after a good rest, feeling refreshed and alert, there's a lightness to everything. You might start to become more aware of your surroundings, the sounds nearby, the surface beneath you, the temperature of the air. And as you feel yourself returning bit by bit, you might notice a sense of calm and clarity, as though something has shifted, even if only slightly. In your own time, you can start to move your fingers and toes, feel the energy returning to your limbs, and when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, bringing with you all the insights, all the awareness from this experience, fully alert, fully present, feeling good, feeling clear. And from this moment forwards, every time you engage in conversation, you'll naturally listen more deeply without effort. You'll find that the more you listen, the more you understand, not just words, but the emotions and intentions behind them. Every conversation will bring with it a sense of clarity and connection, allowing you to be fully present in each moment, hearing all that's said, and even what's left unsaid. And as you go about your day, carry this newfound sense of clarity with you, allowing it to enrich every conversation you have. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.